second step of the roadmaps approach is the 7 layers of strategy. It was developed by Vern Harnish, an American economist, and it's a really strong model. It describes the essence of the product or service, but also the essence of the entrepreneur. And so, like I said, 7 layers, and the first layer is words you own. It's an ultra focus of your product or service. So formulate 3 to 5 words that you want to claim. So, and what I mean by you want to claim is that if you are somewhere talking to a guy and somebody else hears you talking, hears those 3 to 5 words constantly repeating themselves, they should think, okay, there's this guy talking about his company. And then you have claimed those words. When you've set up those words, we always go back to the business model. We look at the value proposition and we look if those 3 to 5 words are also in the value proposition. If not, you have to rewrite the value proposition because you are going to use the value proposition a lot. Those words should be in it. In the 7 layers of strategy, we take the second and the third layer together, and together they should formulate your irresistible offer. What is your irresistible offer to the customer that makes the barrier for buying your product really low? What you often see is that the risk of buying a product or a service is completely at the customer side. They have to buy the product or service, they have to believe that it does what you promise, and when they are at home, they start using it, and if it doesn't do what you promised, what then? It consists of 3 blocks, the irresistible offer. The first block is the promise you make. So it's an ambitious promise which customers should think, oh my God, this is great, I want it. But okay, it's vague, it's just a promise. And what we do in the second block is we formulate a kept promise indicator. So we make the promise measurable. So there are figures in that the customer really specifically knows, okay, the promise sounds really good, but what it means is this, and this is in the kept promise indicator. And then, what happens if your kept promise indicator is not achieved? So the customer uses your product and he's not satisfied and he knows that the kept promise indicator is not achieved. Then you formulate a guarantee. What do you do if you don't achieve what you promised? Do you give your money back? Do they get a new version of the product? Is the subscription prolonged? Whatsoever. Then, the fourth step is the strategy in 1 sentence, really strong. Try to formulate what your strategy is in 1 sentence. And in a way that employees, based on that sentence, know exactly what they have to do and that customers know what they can get at your company. And a really good example, I think, is IKEA. They say flat pack furniture. So a designer knows everything that I design should be able to fit in a flat package. And the customer knows everything that I get at IKEA is in a flat package. I can put it in my car, take it home and build it myself. Strategy in 1 sentence, really strong. Then the 5th layer is differentiating activities. What are your unique selling points? Not in a way that you tell by yourself, I am good at this and this and this. No, you do an analysis of your competitors. What do they say that they are good at? What do you say that you are good at? And what differentiates you from the competitors? Like that, and not just telling yourself what you are good at. 6th layer is the X factor. Really strong. Then we zoom in on the entrepreneurship. What is the essence of the entrepreneur behind the company? Why are you the one that is going to make this company successful? And we look at the past. Where did you make the choice to start the company? We look at maybe your parents. We do a deep dive. And often you see that intrinsic motivation is a really strong motivator. So you're looking for motivators, passion like that. What makes you a strong entrepreneur? And all those things, including the business model. So the business model is the essence of your company. The 7 layers of strategy describe the essence of your product or service and the essence of your entrepreneurship. And that all should lead to your ambition. And the ambition is called Big Hairy Audacious Goal by Vern Harnish and Jim Collins, who invented the term. And that means a really specific formulation of your ambition. And how that will look, we will describe in the next step of the business roadmaps approach.